Hello, Gloria. Welcome.
Hello, D.Lisa.
So, for the listeners who don't know, my name is D.Lisa West. I'm a transformative life coach and a dream doula.
Good
Gloria,
title.
introduce yourself to us.
I am Gloria Carpenter. I'm a professional singer, an author of a book called Power Up Your Dreams, and I'm a certified life coach with the Brave Thinking Institute. And the program is called DreamBuilder, which you are familiar with because you are also a DreamBuilder coach.
Right on. Yes, I realized the other day I have certifications in several different coaching programs. I'm a spiritual life coach with the James Von Prague program.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm a meditation teacher. I'm also certified to lead a drum circle from the drum circle facilitators of the US, which is fun. I mean, you're a musician, so we can talk about how much
Yes.
fun it would be to be in a drum circle where nobody knows any rhythms.
Oh, my goodness.
But you guide them to do something and it turns out fun anyway.
Oh,
Right?
sure. It's all fun. Creativity is fun.
Right. And so we decided today to talk about being imperfect, but doing it anyway. How did you
Yes.
say it? You said it
Yes.
in
Being
okay.
perfectly imperfect, because
Yeah.
as human beings, we are not flawless. We all have flaws. We all make mistakes. We're human, but we know that, well, we believe, and not everybody believes this, but this is our truth. So we're sharing it with people that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're spirits in these earth clothes. And that's where our power lies. So being perfectly imperfect is a matter of just being ourselves, flaws and all. And where I'm going with this, with the spiritual part of it, is that we have to trust in who we are, who we uniquely were born to be, especially as creatives. So like, you're an artist, everything you view through an artist's eyes. Everything that you do, everything you say, everything that comes out of you is from the perspective of an artist. For me, I'm a singer. So when somebody talks to me, I hear musical lines. I hear songs. Somebody will say a song from a lyric and I'll start singing it because it just pops up in my head. We are so unique. Each one of us is like a snowflake. So we have to stay true to who we are. And when we disconnect from that and dig deeper and get out of our heads and trust that what we're saying, what we're doing is authentically us, we can't go wrong. And
Now,
go ahead.
Gloria, tell me, when you were a little tiny kid,
Yeah.
did you like to sing then, even though?
No, actually, I started out as a dancer. Rhythm
Oh,
was my thing. I love to tap dance.
fun.
And yeah, I didn't find my voice until I was in, I guess, high school, when I got the leads in the high school plays. So yeah, no, dance was my passion. And then I learned I had a voice, and and but my self-limiting beliefs from coming from a dysfunctional family got in the way of
That reminds me, I have to interrupt you there. There was a cartoon many years ago, and it might have been a Gary Larson cartoon. I love his stuff so much. But there was a big sign in an auditorium and it said, Convention for Functional Families. The disc was crossed out and there was one person in the audience.
Oh God.
I was like, that's so
Great.
perfect.
Yes.
We all have dysfunctional families and they're like our greatest gifts and treasures, even though we can like, I wish that didn't happen. I wish he didn't say that. I just, he wouldn't do that. Or like, I wish I wasn't grown up poor, whatever we wish we didn't have as kids. Turns out when we're older, we can look back and go, wow, what a gift was that.
It is a gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your pain points are your gift, because that's when you learn about yourself and you become self-aware. and you grow. And
Exactly.
yeah, see, I had abandonment issues that I wasn't aware of, and I carried it through I guess until my late 40s, when I broke up with, I was in a long-term relationship, and it was very painful. And that I went into therapy, and I realized, wow, I'm making really bad decisions for myself. So until you get introspective and realize that your thoughts are weakening you, because your thoughts create your feelings create your actions and your decisions, and that produces your results in life. And I know for me, I could have gone a lot further if I had believed in myself, if I knew I had an inner world, a power source within me that is more powerful than anything. I could have, I, I could have gotten to where I am now a lot faster. And that's why I wrote my book, because I wanted to fast track people with the mind, body, spirit connection.
Right. And I remember the first time I heard the concept was probably at a Center for Spiritual Living church,
Mhm.
that you could change your thoughts. I'm like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can change your thoughts. You can choose your thoughts. You are the person. And then they did this metacognition exercise, and they said, so notice that you have a body. You
Mhm.
have feet, fingers, you can feel the seat you're sitting on. You have a body, but you're not your body. And notice you have thoughts. You can watch the thoughts, you can think the thoughts, but you're not your thoughts. You're the
Mm.
person that's watching the thoughts. You're the person that's noticing the body. What is that? And when
Yeah.
you get really tapped into that, so many different levels of consciousness, that there's a soul self that's connected to, science agrees with spirituality these days. The quantum field is connected to everything, and we're connected to that quantum field. But in our human bodies, we're like,
Mhm.
thinking the same 70,000 thoughts day after day, repeated thoughts from yesterday. And some of these thoughts are not helping us live beautiful lives.
Exactly. Exactly. Well said. I agree
Mm.
with you 1,000% about that. And if people knew that they're creating their destinies and their results by their thoughts alone, that's such a game changer. I remember the first time I found that out was in the early 90s. There was a book called Consciously Creating Circumstances. Um, and it was my first time hearing somebody say, your thoughts are creating your life. I'm like, what? Because we don't think about our thoughts. We
No.
don't notice things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember taking my sister to a workshop once, and they were talking about, in this particular workshop, it was about prosperity. And she
Mhm.
was telling stories, and she was talking about how you can rethink how you're thinking about things. And my sister leans over and she says to me, you don't really believe this stuff, do you? And I was like, I said, yeah, I do. And then I realized, I brought her to come like learn with me, but she was very resistant. And that's the other thing. I think that our imperfect perception of ourselves keeps us from changing and growing, because we want to just be the same. We
Yes.
want everything to be the same. We want it predictability,
Yeah.
which is the biggest joke of all in this human life. There's no
Yeah.
predictability.
No. And
None of
that's
it at all.
evident by, this whole pandemic thing. There's no predictability in anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we as individuals get to create our reality. Um, it's, it's something that I think a lot of artists and musicians and singers, whatever form of art is out there as creatives, we have to realize that we have to get out of our own way and just do whatever we're doing. And like we were talking about earlier before this call about not being good enough.
Mhm.
That's old junk that doesn't belong there. We have to get past that, because we're breathing. We were born for a reason. We're here for a reason. We're not what we see in the mirror. We're more powerful than that. We have gifts to share with the world, and our gifts are in the art field and in whatever we know now about life itself, to share that with people to help their journeys.
I think that it's a dominant paradigm in our society individually that we're not good enough. You can talk to probably any therapist, and it comes down to that's what they're helping people do. And a lot of our coaching clients, that's what we help them do as well, is that we help them create a vision for their future, what they would love. And wouldn't it be beautiful if we taught kids as little kids to notice what they love, instead of to tell them to stop doing this and stop doing that, and don't do that, and you might hurt yourself, and
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. What would you love? If all we did was change that one question and ask ourselves multiple times a day, what would I love? And do something that you would love, your life would
Yes.
turn into a joyful experience.
Yes. Yes. And peace, love, joy, those are all the finer things of life. And
Mm.
many people don't take the time to think about what they would love. So I ask that question to a lot of people too, like in everyday life. I'm like, where's your discontent? What aren't you happy about? What would you love to be doing? What would you like to have? What experiences would you love? And they're like, and they start thinking about it, and they don't normally think about these things. They're just on automatic pilot,
Yeah, yeah.
making a living instead of a life.
I used to ask people when I worked in an office, worked in this office, I was the manager of 65 real estate brokers and 7 staff people. And I'd wander around all day chatting with people and making sure things were going or however they were going. And people would stand up next to me and I'd say, "Hey, Dave, tell me something good." And
Yes.
almost every person would be like, "What? Like, I don't want to know what's going wrong in your life. I don't want to know your struggles. Tell me something great."
Mm.
And each person I asked that to their face would light up and they would think about something great and tell me about it.
Yeah.
But for some of them, it was a big struggle. They weren't focused on what was great. They were focused on problems they were trying to solve. Or in that what was the dominant word they used then? I've got a situation.
Yeah.
So many people in that office came to me and they said they had a situation. I said, "You got to stop using that word. It sounds like the police should come." You
Right.
know,
Right.
maybe there's something to solve here, but don't say it like that.
Right.
Got a
Right.
situation.
Right. What do I do?
Yeah, what do we do? Well, before we close this conversation, which I've loved having with you, tell us a
Me
little
too.
bit more about your book, about your coaching program, and about your singing career, because I know you're out there all the time doing gigs.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about
Yes.
that.
I love, love, love my life. I get to do what I love and I get paid for it. And isn't that what we all could be doing if we really wanted to?
Yeah.
There's a quote by Napoleon Hill that says, whatever you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. It's all up there. It's all your thoughts. And if there's one takeaway for people on what they're hearing from us right now, is pay attention to your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking? What would you love? And how would that make your reality better? If you're
Nice.
looking for more, D.Lisa is a life coach, amazing. She's got all these fabulous programs. I am very busy singing right now, so I'm taking a break from coaching, and I think I'm going to start up in January again. My my book is called Power Up Your Dreams. It's on Amazon. I also have a website called powerupyourdreams.com that has a link to my coaching services as well. And So I can tell you that we all have the same 525,600 minutes in a day.
I
We all
love that. Now that song's going to be a worm in my head. So
yes.
we'll put a link to her book and her website in the show notes. And
Thank you.
thanks everybody. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
day.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.